Hi everyone, Murtag here, and in today's video I would like to talk and express my opinion about World of Warcraft Classic, especially if it will be a success or not. The reason why I want to discuss this is because I don't believe in the long period of time Classic could maintain its player base, and now I will explain why. The first point is, of course, it will have its pretensions of players coming from the pirate server communities that took the fact that they finally have what they requested for so many years. And many of them will finally leave for a better quality product of a Blizzard server, so they don't have the fear to lose their character, they have Blizzard customer care, and so on. But what fears me is that in the long term, the state of that game could not appear players to join in. And I don't refer to players that are now playing Legion, as I am, but all those players that probably stopped to play during Path of the Lich King, Cataclysm, Mist of Pandaria, and so on. The reason why I believe those is because of the percentage stagnant time of the game. So this means that we know what the content will be, we know our best items will be for our class, we know all the builds that we need to know for PvE, PvP, soloing content, farming content, and so on. So we basically now we know everything about that game. And I want to take an example. The first time I stepped into Orgrimmar, it was 2005. I started to play the game before the opening of the gates of Ankh-Mirage on my server. And when I started, I remember very clearly how much that place looked huge, impressive. This whole city carved into that canyon. But as time passes, the more I knew of the game, the city started to become smaller, smaller and smaller. And to have the same feeling while stepping in as it was the first time, I got it when Cataclysm patch it's the game. So when there was the whole revamp of Orgrimmar. And I believe this situation will occur to a lot of players. And this makes me fear that in the long term, from the percentage of players that of course will play the game from the start and they will keep to play it, maybe sometime they will stop to play it for many reasons. Maybe they could not afford the same time investment for job duty, school duty, parenthood duty, everything. And without having a refreshment of players or new players, I believe that in the long term those servers will slowly die, and that's a shame, because finally these people got what they asked for. And so I believe that some changes, some additions are necessary to be made to permit Classic to live on, as they're doing with RuneScape, with old school RuneScape, when they have a discussion, the developers with their player base, telling them, okay, what would you like to see in game? And there is a lot of opportunity, content that has been scrapped out before the release, content that didn't made it, and maybe you have to add it through Burning Crusade, or it was forgotten. One example was the possibility to have Karazhan as a raiding classic, probably as 20-man raid. Some zones that were scrapped before the release, like Dragon Island and so on. And probably even newer content, but with the source and the soul of classic server. So not much a change game, going more through the game that is right now Legion. or Battle for Horizon, but more like we want to give you something, to give you entertain, to make you feel the new experience that you have. And I believe also the possibility to have seasonal server as in Diablo, that could be a nice idea. Probably a server that lasts, well, a new server every 2-3 years, and when the time frame of the server is closed, you can transfer all your characters to a normal server type, and you can decide to keep going to play those characters on a normal server, or have again a fresh start of the new one, as like in Diablo. So race for the server first for all the raids, for the Grand Marshal like Warlord title, a new economy to build up, all these things that can stimulate player to keep in and play classic. So this is pretty much my two ideas, a bunch of ideas, because I think that I'm happy for them to finally have what they asked for so long time. But I believe that the more vocal voice of the community, if they don't comprehend that sometimes benefits, changes needs to be done, otherwise the game, for the state of the game, to keep the game healthy. Because the worst period from experience when playing this game is when there is a content drop, and the best period when to play the game is when a new expansion kicks in. It's always been the same. So it was the same with Burning Crusade, Wrath of the Lich King, or expansion. When you start to play again, when you don't know everything about, when everything is new, because people maybe don't have played the betas, they don't play on the PTR, they don't educate themselves on websites, on YouTube, and this create all these feelings of discovery, like it was your first time playing the game again. And I believe this is what Blizzard needs to do. Some patches that don't change what is the core of classic, but that allow people to keep entertained, keep engaged, and having something new to discover. So this is pretty much my opinion. I would like to know what you think about in the comment section. Thank you so much for listening. Bye bye.